Hello, my name's Roy Beeman of Merlin, and in this video we're going to be covering a key tip to prevent that bane of our life, and mostly men to be fair, snoring. And we'll get into that tip later. But what creates snoring? Without going too deep into science and research and everything like that, there's so many different factors. So I'm just going to cover a little component that this is coming from personal experience as well. So the tip I'm going to give is one that I've used myself. And what's a key component to our body snoring with the mouth breathing and the bits of the body in the back of the throat that are vibrating and creating that actual sound? A lot of it is actually to do with diet and also dehydration, so the amount of water we intake. Now, it is well researched that a lot of the population are very dehydrated. We don't drink enough quality water. Tap water is known as dead water. There's not enough in it to really rehydrate the body. So we have to take different things. With coconut water, for instance, is a great hydrator, and a natural one that, when you look at the ingredients on the back of the packet, rarely comes with any added anything. It just tends to say 100% coconut water, depending on where it comes from. Some are sweeter than others. However, it also incorporates into the body all the necessary electrolytes to rehydrate the body. So this is a little tip before the main tip that changes and prevent and stops snoring almost overnight without the use of any mouth guards, nose openers, or CPAP machine, without any technology. This is a simple thing. But a glass of coconut water before bed will help that because it hydrates the body. And also making sure you have plenty of water throughout the night leading up to when you go to sleep will obviously also help the snoring. So, getting into what this key tip is that's going to help you stop snoring, which will improve your quality of sleep, improve the relationship if you have a partner that's getting woken up by your snoring. If you've already done the sleeping in separate rooms things, that might reincorporate that, which then also helps the relationship. So it's not just stopping snoring, it's what snoring creates in your sleep patterns, in your relationship, and everything else. So it has massive benefits. So it's worth doing this one thing. And what is this one thing that don't involve nose plugs and CPAP machines and mouth guards and all the other technology that claim to stop snoring overnight, that don't actually address the real problem, which the body creates the snoring? And when the body lacks a certain thing, which as I mentioned is hydration, that's where the snoring gets created. So without drinking lots of water, which sometimes creates getting up in the middle of the night, which still breaks our sleep pattern, how do we combat that? So the key component is diet. And it's not necessarily what we eat, although that will have an effect, because if you have a heavy red meat diet, or you drink a lot of alcohol, drink a lot of coffee, you drink a lot of foods that dehydrate the body, that's going to also contribute to us snoring. And I don't drink a lot, never have really have done for a couple of decades now. Not that I was ever a big drinker anyway. However, having coffee at night is also it drains the body of water. That's what coffee does. There is a word for that, and I can't think of it off the top of my head. However, so even tea to a certain degree drains. As much as that's a liquid, it tends to more dehydrate the body than rehydrate it. So lots of cups of teas at night isn't necessarily beneficial. Things like orange juice, or as I mentioned, coconut water, liquids that hydrate the body are going to be key for this technique. Now, the one change I did, because even though I didn't do any of these things, I still snored, and I do drink plenty of water throughout the day. The one key thing that I did that helped with my snoring was change the time that I had dinner. So when we eat dinner later, the body is still processing that food, so it's still draining water from the body to help break that food down. So if you're eating really late, and especially eating a big meal really late, and you're going to bed and your body's still processing, your body to a certain degree is still awake. So it's still kind of having to eat. in a weird sense of the way. And because of that, that contributes to the snoring. So what I did, I used to eat around 6:30, 7 o'clock, which is not really that late in the grand scheme of things. But what I did then do was change that to 4 o'clock in the afternoon when I started having a main meal. That also affected how I ate at lunch as well. So I tend to have breakfast and mid-afternoon dinner with a small snack in the day, and possibly a small snack at night, an apple or a packet of chips or something not very heavy that the body can process very, very quickly, long before I go to sleep at around 10 o'clock. So 6 hours before my bedtime, before I decided to go to bed, I was having my main meal. And that cut the snoring down dramatically and sometimes altogether. So there was no snoring, a bit of heavy breathing. And now this is reports from my partner, who was being kept awake by my snoring, who was having broken sleep, who now says, look, it's so much different, it's so much better because you are eating dinner earlier. So that is the key tip. I know people are going to have different circumstances in regards to work and stuff like that, and you might have to tweak things and maybe have a big lunch while you're at work and then a small snack when you get home later. But trust me, it is, whatever you have to do, it is absolutely well worth changing your time that you eat so that it helps with your snoring, and therefore you'll end up with your relationship will improve, your health will improve. It's just such a positive thing to do that has so many positive after effects without the need of mouth guards and nose plugs and CPAP machines and everything like that that are often uncomfortable and don't create a better quality of sleep anyway. Whereas this, all you have to do is change the time that you actually eat. And yes, if you are having a heavy diet that's your body's still processing, diet is a change as well, but that would be a completely different video in a completely different manner. So sticking with the snoring thing, having that change of diet will drastically improve your quality of sleep and your snoring. So, and also drinking a bit more water, a bit more fluids that hydrate the body is probably a better way to say that. So for me, that's a really key component to helping you prevent snoring in one very easy way. The thing with this though, it does take willpower, like the willingness to change, and especially eating is a habit, and what time we eat is a habit, and the body knows that, so it will get hungry at certain times of day because that's what we've done for 10, 15, 20 odd years. We've been very rigid and habitual with our eating patterns. That would be the biggest challenge in the start, where you're having to change a habit, and that takes persistence, consistency and effort and willpower to break a habit that we've done for so long, because our body will react to that. So it's almost like we've programmed ourselves, like the Pavlov dogs experiment, where he would ring a bell and feed them at a certain time of day, and then one day when he felt he had trained them, he rang the bell and the dog still salivated because they knew that food was coming, even though he didn't actually feed them. So that kind of thing, you can research that if you want. So there is my key tip to help prevent snoring, in that change the time you eat, drink more fluids that hydrate the body throughout the day, and depending on whether you're willing to go to that level, change your diet, do the research, find out what affects the body in regards to dehydrating it. A lot of red meat can do that because the body takes a lot longer to process that. I'm not saying become a vegetarian or a vegan or anything like that. Our bodies all need certain types of food. For me, a diet is one that suits your body perfectly. That to me is a diet. I live intuitively, and I live like, my body definitely still needs protein and red meat or white meat, whatever it is, but it still needs meat. So I honour my body that way and give it what it needs. And I do feel the difference when I don't eat meat over 4 or 5 days. So if your body needs that, still give it that. But it's all about everything in moderation. So eat in moderation, change the time you eat, Try the 4 o'clock, 4:30 time if that doesn't encroach in on work, if you work from home or something like that. It's very then easy to change. And once you've done it a week, your body quickly adjusts to this new eating habit. You just got to push through at times when your body gets hungry and you've already eaten, that habit of being hungry. So thanks very much. Hopefully, and please mention in the comments whether this works for you. This definitely worked for me, and it literally worked within a couple of days. So put your comments below and let me know if this technique worked for you and how quick it worked for you. I'd love to hear your feedback. And remember to also to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell as well so that you receive information when new videos are coming out. And I appreciate the support on the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Roy B. Man of Merlin. If you'd like coaching or one-on-one mentoring or any guidance with your life, my links are in the comments as well. So thanks very much. I look forward again to seeing you soon. Bye bye.